Can remember that day just like it was yesterday. I was sitting on the floor playing with my little girl who was 2 years old. It was the summer of 2014. And all of a sudden I felt this close up on my throat and I couldn't breathe well. My heart was racing really fast. I had the cold sweats and honestly did not know what was happening to me. I thought I was having a heart attack. So I immediately went to the doctor's office and they ran some tests on me. The doctor came in and said, "You've had a severe panic attack." And I had no idea what that meant. So I began to Google a little bit of what panic attacks are and how they originate. And anxiety obviously is a big cause of that, but anxiety was something I honestly never talked about. I didn't grow up talking about it in church as a man, and has never really talked about what anxiety is and where it can come from. For me, I put a lot of pressure on myself. As a husband and a father, I feel like a lot of responsibilities on my shoulders to provide and protect and to give. So subconsciously over the years, I had been putting a lot of pressure on myself that I didn't realize that I was putting pressure on myself. I can remember even back as a kid suffering with anxiety and not even knowing what it was. I can remember the classic, "Are we there yet?" But that would even snowball into, "Are you sure we're going the right way? I don't think we're going the right way." And so as a 6-year-old kid, didn't know what that was. Putting that, and 30 years later, I was still dealing with that and still trying to manage that, but I didn't know how to manage it. And that was what led to that severe panic attack. In these last 6 years, it's been extreme, to the point of paranoia, where I'm sitting in my office thinking that I hear things outside, checking out my windows and seeing who or what's going to get me. And it got pretty bad. It also got pretty bad, speaking to my family, to the point of my wife really suggesting that I go see a counselor. And so reluctantly, after some time, that's exactly what I did. So for about a year, I was seeing a counselor who was helping me unpack the past and the future. For me, my anxiety deals with worry of things that I can't control. It deals with the future. I will worry about one scenario. In that scenario, I'll plan for another scenario, another one, and another one. In my mind, it's kind of like a filing cabinet, where you can envision this long filing cabinet where I've solved for problems back to back to back to back, where honestly they're never going to come true, but I play it out in my head like it is true, or if it were true. And that was one thing that has really helped me in seeing a counselor, is that it's a past that I have dealt with for a long time. And I was born that way, and that's okay. That's one thing that I wanted to share with you guys today, is that anxiety is not bad. If you suffer with it, that's fine. I suffer with it, and it's a daily recognition of that I think you guys can take and learn. And there's tools that you can also learn. For me in counseling, there were many tools. I like to envision myself as I was like a hammer. I was destructing things and tearing up stuff, where really I needed a screwdriver and trying to help solve that problem. I was using the wrong tool for the wrong situation. And that was for me. What was a great learning and turning point for me is that there are many tools that you can use to combat anxiety. One of those also is medication. I don't know what your thought is on medication, but for me, I need that. It's a chemical imbalance in my brain that it helps level me out and helps me in my day-to-day. And that's okay too. We've got some great scientists and great doctors that God has blessed them with that ability to prescribe that and do a great job for you. Also, 1 in 5 men suffer with anxiety. So I don't know where you are at today. I don't know what your thoughts are on that. And if you're in a position right now where you're, really struggling with not being honest with yourself or your family, but I would love for you to just to kind of think and be honest with yourself and with others around you, because it's a game changer. I have felt that pressure that I talked about earlier just kind of come off. I can take a deep breath. I'm not worrying about the future anymore. I'm not worrying about the past. I'm in the present. And that's one thing that has really been helpful for me, is prioritizing. First priority has got to be God, daily sacrificing yourself, picking up your cross and following Him. Also, it's my wife, my 2 girls. I got to put my priorities in perspective, where, God's got the day planned out. He knows what's going to happen. He's gone ahead of you. And if you trust Him and align yourself with Him, it's going to be all right. One thing that I love to pray every single day is a Serenity Prayer. If you don't know what that is, Google that. It's awesome. For me, I sum it up like this, is that I don't know what the future holds, but I know that I need wisdom. There's going to be things in life that's going to happen that I can't control. There's going to be things in life that I can't control, but I need God's wisdom to understand the difference between those two. There's things that's going to go on in your life that you can't control. That's going to happen. But there's going to be things in your life that, you can't control, or at least you can control a response and not build that up and let that snowball. And I've learned that over the last 30 years, I've let things snowball and snowball and snowball until I come to a point where it's exploded. And I've learned that I need to deal with that, and that's okay. So if you're dealing with anxiety today, again, it's okay that you're dealing with that. You were born that way. For me, anxiety was like a vehicle to get closer to God. And it has. This last year has been amazing. I'm not in counseling anymore, but I am still on medication, and that's okay too. So anyway, I'd love to connect with you. So in the comments, go ahead and just write a message to me, and I'd like to get you some resources to help you with what you're doing. I also want to let you know that God is here to help you rewrite your story. And that's what this video series is going to be about, is that God is here to help you rewrite your story and set you in the best path forward. Thank you all.